We got big news about the Quest 2 headset and an all-new upgraded chip from Qualcomm, but also a crazy VR headset that is a handheld console at the same time. So make sure you destroy that like button on your way in and let's get right into it. The Quest 2 headset got a limited discount to $350, and at the same time it will also be bundled in with the games Resident Evil 4 and Beat Saber. Now Meta usually pushes these major discounts around Black Friday with their main goal to get as many VR headsets under the Christmas tree as possible. But this year it is kinda unusual because the headset recently got a price jump of over $100. So while the price has been lower before, the bundle is still a great discount if you were getting these games in the first place. So if you don't own a VR headset yet, this might be the perfect time to get one. And I'm happy to see that Meta is still putting in some discounts even after they had to recently fire over 11,000 employees that reduced their entire workforce by 13%. But with Christmas coming up, I hope that this is gonna give VR a big boost so that new people will also get a chance to experience virtual reality. But next to Meta, PlayStation now also opened up their pre-orders for their upcoming PSVR 2 headsets. Now many people have expressed their interest in this new Sony's upcoming headset, and if you signed up to receive regular updates, then you most likely also received a pre-order email. And the PSVR 2 should come in at a price point of around $550. And although this might sound like a lot, it does directly include their PSVR 2 controllers. Of course, you do have to keep in mind that the prices might differ depending on your region, and that a PlayStation 5 system is required to use this headset. But sadly, it won't be arriving for the holiday season, with their official launch date now set on February 22nd. Another important thing to keep in mind is that it is not backwards compatible with the original PlayStation VR games. And although it is already confirmed that most of the big games will be ported over, it does mean that at launch you won't have full access to the PlayStation VR library. But the big reason why many people are hyped about this headset is because of the exclusive AAA games, with one of its biggest launch titles being Horizon Call of the Mountain. And I personally can't wait till I can start firing at these massive robot dinosaurs. But we got more big news, because Qualcomm revealed their brand new chip known as the Snapdragon AR2. Most VR headsets at the moment, like the Quest 2 and the Pico 4, are using the Snapdragon XR2. This is a chip that is mainly focused for standalone VR headsets, where all of the processing is done within. But the AR2 isn't designed to power standalone devices. It just handles the computer vision tasks like position tracking and hand tracking. But where an external device with a more powerful chip, such as a smartphone or a computer, will actually run the apps that could then be directly streamed wirelessly. And because of this will most likely only be used in augmented reality headsets, with Qualcomm claiming that the streaming latency will be less than 2 milliseconds, and where current other AR glasses connect to external devices over a USB-C cable. So this chip could allow that same processing, but now completely wirelessly. What makes it even better is that it will only use half the power of that of the Snapdragon XR2. It means that it can be paired with smaller batteries and a lot lighter cooling system, so that they can put it in a form factor that looks much more like regular glasses. Qualcomm also announced that almost any big company that is working on AR glasses is trying to integrate this new chip in their upcoming products. And this could mean that we finally don't need to wear these bulky AR glasses to have a good augmented reality experience. None other than Pimax is trying to make a handheld console that can be turned into a VR headset. And while this is definitely not the first time we've seen this concept before, like the Nintendo Labo VR, it is definitely a crazy idea, with the only problem being that it is made by the company known as Pimax, who over the years got known for their very long shipping delays and some major software issues, with this new project being the third one that Pimax has announced as their new family of standalone devices. And while all the other products were already supposed to launch earlier this year, none of them have actually shipped yet, and instead they kept announcing new products like the Crystal headset and now their Pimax Portal. But the console is set to have a Nintendo Switch style design with detachable controllers, and with the unique aspect that it can slide right into a VR headset shell and the controllers into a VR controller shell. Personally, I think it is way better to dedicate one product to a specific technology. And while 2-in-1 could definitely work, like we see in a Switch that has both handheld as well as console gaming, I think that VR should only be mixed with augmented reality and not with a complete different platform. with another personal big red flag being the company that is making it. But luckily, that was not the only VR headset news we got, because HTC Vive is working on an all-new model that is focused on a slim and modular design. This news leaked thanks to a YouTuber known as Sadly It's Bradley, and we know that HTC has been teasing a new VR headset for over a month. And in these renders, we can see that it very closely resembles their existing Vive Flow, but now with some rear padding and a total of 5 front cameras, with a single one in the center, which is most likely for color pass-through. And this new headset will apparently include the same tracking controllers as the Vive Focus 3, where the Vive Flow uses your phone instead. But it does have one big unique feature that we haven't seen before, because the rear padding that contains the battery can apparently be detached so that you can use it as a pair of glasses. This would make it suitable for media watching in bed or when you're laying back on your couch. And the lenses look to have the all-new pancake optics and rocking the same Snapdragon XR2 chip as the Quest 2. But for more details, we will have to wait until the official announcement. On the other side, the newcomer to the industry, known as the Pico 4, reportedly is not making their sale expectations. It turns out that the company apparently hoped to sell more than 1 million headsets in its first year. And with the amazing specs and low price point compared to anything else in the industry, it comes to a big surprise that these targets are unlikely to be met. This, however, contradicts the public statement that we got earlier, where the company even warned some pre-orders in Europe that it would be delayed due to unprecedented global demand. And I truly believe that the Pico 4 has a huge chance of not only succeeding, but really creating one of the biggest competitions that Meta has ever seen. Because on paper, not only is the Pico 4 cheaper, but the hardware is also better in every single spec possible. So I truly hope that Pico keeps pushing virtual reality forward. But make sure you don't miss the biggest Quest 2 update ever by clicking on the video you see on screen right now. And of course, stay awesome.